Thank you. Far too kind.
Yeah. Ready? Can I get an encore? Do you want more?
Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll.
Now what the hell are you waiting for?
After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, nigga, make some noise.
Get him, Jay.
Who you know fresher than Ho? Riddle me that. The rest of y'all know where I'm lyrically at. Can none of y'all mirror me back? Yeah, hear me rap, it's like Han G rapping his prime. I'm Young H.O., raps Grateful Dead. Back to take over the globe, now break bread. I'm in Boeing Jets, Global Express. Out the country, but the blueberries still connect. On the low, but the yacht got a triple deck. But when you young, what the fuck you expect? Yep. Grand opening, grand closing. Goddamn your manhole, crack the can open again. Who you gonna find open a hand with no pen? Just draw inspiration. Who you gonna see you can't replace him with cheap imitations for these generations? Hardcore, do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll.
Yeah. Now what the hell are you waiting for?
After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, nigga, make some noise.
What the hell are you waiting for?
Look what you made me do. Look what I made for you. Knew if I paid my dues, how will they pay you? When you first come in the game, they try to play you. Then you drop a couple of hits. Look how they wave to you. From Marcy to Madison Square, to the only thing that matters is just a matter of years. As fate would have it, J status appears to be at an all-time high. Perfect time to say goodbye. When I come back like Jordan, we're in the 4-5. It ain't to play games with you, it's to aim at you. Probably
You're
name
listening
you.
to
If I owe you one more,
PPRN,
then still the rings. Concept to
motherfucker.
take one for your team, and I need you to remember one thing. I came, I saw, I conquered. From record sales, sold out concert. Motherfucker, if you want this encore, I need you to scream to your lungs to soar. Come on.
So how was the week of training?
Very long.
What they make you do up there?
Climb poles. I was up and down poles all week.
You already know how to climb.
The bad part was getting the splinters from sliding down. Wake up, Brian. I'm having the
Training's going well, right?
yeah. All right, John Travolta.
You do got a little John Travolta.
He does. Right? Get the John Travolta shit.
That shit, oh my God.
No, it's not.
Yeah, plastic surgery.
You know what? It's weird is when hair grows in it. Yeah, you gotta shave it. Like a butt cheek. Butt crack. We're live, brother. Turn your headphones. Your headphones. Follow your cord.
There you go.
Brian Pumpkin.
It should be after the last time we had munchkins. You eating those pumpkin munchkins. You know what the hell they were.
Do them all over the place. Oh, I'm glad you got a Yankee thing up there finally. Good for you.
Speaking of Yankees, congratulations to the Cleveland Indians.
Congratulations is right. This is
You know what? We got to give a big shout out as well last night. First time since 1945, the Chicago Cubs are in the World Series.
and they really celebrated.
Where's Bob?
They celebrated big time.
And they should have.
Storytime Bob is late. Is he usually
Yeah,
late?
no, he's never usually.
Well, I thought he after these Roberto and Bob here had that big fight. I heard he just backed out.
You know what?
He said he didn't want to be any part of that family shit.
He backed out because of he called out Travis and Robbie on the thread, and
let's call him.
Robbie and Travis responded back, but I asked Bob to do it to come in one more time.
How did he call them out on the thread?
It's just a lot of comments that got a little personal, and
that's sad because I thought a T-Man had a death in the family, and that's what happened.
Well, unfortunately,
led to his absence today.
Well, originally, he was going to bring his father to the airport because I guess his stepmother's mother was very sick, but she did pass away, so he has to go out there.
That is sad. I mean, those kind of things happen. In fact, I was going to call and say today, one of my fish died, so I was thinking,
It's probably not even awake.
It's really unprofessional. First to not show up and then not pick up your phone. What the hell's wrong with this guy? Jesus Christ. and you know he's got it on because it didn't go straight to voicemail.
All right.
So he's clearly screening the call.
Or he's driving.
At the tone, please record your message. When you finish
Oh, I'm
recording,
gonna
you may
record it.
hang
You
up
wanna start it,
or
Peter?
press
I'll
1
start
for
it.
more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
This could get ugly.
Yes, this is the Grim Reaper, and I'm trying to find out where Bob is, and it's almost your time. So if you want to get back to
No, it is your time. So what is your story? Why are you late? I mean, if you got a story, flat tire, you're in the woods, whatever, just give us a story. But you're not here, and that's unprofessional.
I'm sorry. Okay, Bob, we'll talk to you
You
later.
should be sorry.
Okay,
Anyway,
Who needs them?
we do.
anyway, on that note,
You know what? In fairness to him, though, he could be buying shit at the tag sale.
Well, it's
I did see some good stuff.
I'm surprised.
Rock'em Sock'em.
This could be the day, though.
It
that
could be.
Rock'em Sock'em robots. You got Micronauts.
This could be the day,
Got
though,
all kinds of
because
stuff.
he has got a death pool on him.
Yeah, well,
That's right. He is on his over/under year. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, on that note, we got a couple special guests that we're going to talk to in a minute. We got Chris Sanford and his father, John Sanford, from Sanford Racing up at Stafford Springs. Chris, 15-year-old up-and-comer, finished 12th at what series was it? The top
Dare stock.
How are you
There's
allowed to drive? You don't even have your license.
that's what I was just getting at before. I just came to realize that.
Yeah. I don't know if my mic's on or not.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
on.
it is.
You're on.
I can hear you, John. Yeah.
You're on. No, we're going to get into all that in a minute, but we got to start off with a pick from the NFL because we have a 9:30 game kicking off.
That's right.
We got the ooh,
Wow.
I knew it would come soon.
I know. I was waiting for
About
it.
time you came around with some of your cues. Excellent.
It's so funny. When I
this
was in
this is a perfect
I have a
segment.
teacher who'd be like, "Hey, Sanford," and he starts singing the song. I'm like, "Oh God, to my next class."
I'll tell you.
It's actually a perfect segment for the Giants.
I'm so proud of you right now. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Now, instead of getting story time out, we just had Grady here right now.
Yeah.
With his ripple. Now, that would have really been great, man.
Mom's over there going, what? What are they doing? What are they playing?
Oh my God!
There you go, Mom.
Look, he's so taken. Look, he's so flustered he can't even read about the Giants. I'm good. I don't have to talk right now. It's up to you, Bob. Take it on.
How can you beat the theme from Sanford and Son? I mean, this is a classic.
Classic. One of my favorite beats that you have.
I'll leave it up for Mom just until we get kicked out.
Dummy. Dummy.
Damn it.
Now,
Grady, damn it.
Bob, talk about that game.
And we got 3 hours of this. We got a lot of stuff to go over, but we got 2 3-3 teams battling out over at London. You got the Los Angeles Rams getting 3 from the New York Football Giants.
Oh, we got a bye week this week, don't
Guy
we?
from Fat Albert.
Who would think we would be saying the 1-5 Panthers and the 5-1 Cowboys on a bye week? There's no answer to that.
No.
Except we're good and they're not.
But you got a bye week this week, and you're all suited up.
That's right.
So are you.
So are you.
3 words.
And you got no quarterback. Your
My
Raplesburger's
ass
down.
kicked against the Patriots.
Yeah, you're done.
3 words. We're almost not in. So I'll leave it at that.
Raplesburger's hurt.
Listen, man.
Rapless burger.
Not for nothing, Ray Burger. He deserves to be hurt. He deserves to be hurt for 2 reasons. 1, because he raped women, and 2, because he threw some of the most ridiculous passes I've ever seen last week.
You finally admit that he did it.
Well, my wife lets me know every week.
I'm sure she does.
So she finally convinced me that he's
I'm
just
upset
a
that
bad
they
guy.
didn't do anything to Kaepernick.
They started. They're
They
starting.
didn't do anything.
They're starting him
No,
again
I mean,
today.
people wrecking his face. And
Well, I'll tell you what they did. They did. It was more post game where the players basically came out and said, "This guy,
F you.
They just said he doesn't know. He's like they demean his whole professionalism.
Oh, it's
They're
good.
like he doesn't know what he's doing. Players were open. He missed passes. They just said
He was nervous.
He's basically like nothing. They said doesn't matter what his views are about the flag and America and not standing up. It's just that he doesn't have it. They
Nervous.
basically said this guy's not a quarterback anymore, so he ain't gonna be around. Is what they basically said.
Yeah, but they're going to start him for probably 2 to 3 more games, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do anything. He's probably going to be cut by week 10. I thought he would have been gone by now.
the year, and I forget what it was. The year of the Ravens when he was in the Super Bowl, I watched him the way probably you did, and I just found myself saying, this guy is unbelievable. He could not be stopped when he scrambled. He was accurate passer. It's almost like, what happened?
Well, you
and
know
then
what? That's when the
take himself right out of the mix. He did this whole freaking national anthem shit.
If you look back at everything, like you were just saying, his rookie year when he went to the Super Bowl, that's probably the first year that they had the read option going, and now every team is catching up to it. So guess what? That's why now they got the pistol and all that. And
can you really do that?
Sure, why not?
So you're going to talk about the Giant game? We're making our pick for that now, right?
Yeah, we got to do that because that's kicking off in like 15 minutes.
You're an uneducated alcoholic.
Thank you.
No, wait a minute. Did we send? Isn't that where Bob is? Did we send him to London live to give us live on the field report? So So what we'll do is every once in a while, every half hour, we'll go to story time.
Hey, Bob, you there? Bob, you there?
Let's have sex.
All right.
He wish he could.
Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out.
But Storytime doesn't know how to do that anymore.
Wow, we should have guests more often because you're like finally doing your job today.
All right, so we got
I paid the rent.
All right, so we got the Rams getting 3 from the Giants, and the over/under's 44.
Well, I don't give a crap about that over/under shit. You know me. I'm not into that. But I will say that I think the Rams got a really bad pass defense. And I do have a feeling that the Giants are going to come out with the passing game this week. I think they're all fired up with that. So I like the Giants today.
Do you guys watch
as much as
and
I think Fisher's going to play dirty. I think Fisher's going to really try to get under Odell Beckham's skin. He's going to play that dirty game, and he's good at it. And they have a scrappy defense. So the chance if they can get under Odell Beckham's skin and get under and Eli's, then they might have a chance. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Giants are just going to beat them with pure skill today.
You see, I think they're going to go a little bit different because I just heard a stat on a radio station coming in that the Giants give up 115 yards rushing, and their pass defense is pretty good. That said, I think Beckham had his coming out party last week. 8 catches, 222 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Got engaged to the goalpost. So I mean, he's a happy clam right now. The Rams.
Who paid for the dinner? Was it the Ned who paid or Odell Beckham?
I think it was the football. Yeah. But anyway, with the Rams offense, it's pretty simple. They have no running game. So whoever took Todd Gurley as their number 1 pick in fantasy football, you screwed up.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kenny Britt's coming on strong.
Gurley.
The passing game is pretty good. Rams defense isn't bad. I just don't think the Rams have enough talent. I think the Giants have a little more talent offensively. Defensively, I think it's a pretty even matchup. The other question is special teams. I mean, Robbie Gould's in for Josh Brown. Josh Brown, if everybody doesn't know, he's suspended indefinitely with all the domestic violence accusations that have come out against his wife. He's supposed to be getting treatment for it, so we're going to see where that leads.
I like when they get treatment when they get caught.
But wait a minute.
I apologize. I beat the shit out of her.
Wasn't it his own diary? That basically they just found a diary under his mattress. Like, oh, we got him now.
There should be one time you get caught.
I beat the crap out of her this day. Thanksgiving, I beat the crap out of her again. Christmas, New Year's.
All it's saying is, I'm sorry I got caught. It's not I'm sorry I did.
Real. These are his words in the diary. It's like
maybe you get cancer of the eyeball.
It's not like the diary of Anne Frank. It's the diary of wife abuse.
The one thing I'll give him credit on is he admits it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Not like a lot of these.
Who's got to admit it? He got caught.
No, not like. Remember Greg?
He wrote it down in a diary.
No, you remember Greg Hardy? He never admitted it. He's now in MMA.
Yeah, that guy's a bad guy.
But I'm saying at least Josh Brown's.
Well, he belongs in jail with this theme song.
I know what boys like.
I was going to say, keep him with the cops and the theme songs. You could have done Beretta for him because.
Oh, don't give him any ideas.
Don't do the crime if you can't, and he did a lot of crimes.
Why are you hitting women when you make that kind of money? You're in the spotlight.
Exactly. Wow.
So, that note.
Why are you hitting women at all, actually? But I'm saying it's.
Well, no, leave that part out because we all know it turns Mr. Hand to Mr. Fist, but, I mean,
So what's your excuse then?
Never touch a woman.
Good man.
As my daughter Caroline says, and it's not like don't take this wrong, she just says, just don't touch me. Just don't ever touch me. So I'll just go like this. I just put my finger, touch her, and then, stop! Don't touch me!
All right, after all that.
hard feelings.
Yeah. No, you're good. So I'm gonna take the Rams in a mini upset today.
All right.
I'm not even watching football.
What is the spread, Bob? What's the spread?
3.
No
And
Dallas, no
Rams
football.
getting 3?
Rams getting 3.
Yeah.
Hey, that's some young buck.
Well, I'm interested. Peter, what do you think about the game today? This morning. Actually, in 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
I'm thinking the Rams can win overseas.
Yeah.
They have to.
Okay.
They have to.
By the way, thanks for the Twizzler. Can I?
They're
now,
stale, bro.
Let me know when you're going live because I want to take these and just stick them up my nose. Okay.
What do you guys think about the game?
I think the Rams are going to win outright. I don't think they need. They're getting 3.
Yeah, they're getting
3. Yeah.
I think they'll win outright.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Rams will do it. Yep.
Don't be trying to follow our lead because we said it. Have your own opinion.
Honestly, I want the Rams to win. I really do.
No, you don't.
I hate them. Yes, I do.
What,
I
versus
like
the Giants?
Fisher. I like Fisher. I hate Odell Beckham. I'll say it right that time because I hate him.
He's a
And I
scumbag.
think Eli is
He
a
really
wimp.
is.
And believe me, I would be happy if the Rams just beat the crap out. You know what I really want to happen? I want to come down to a field goal and have Goulden's mustard there just shank it like a crooked hot dog right off the goalpost. And they lose. And then Josh Brown there is going to say, God, why did I make that diary up of beating the crap out of my wife and leave it under my mattress?
Well, I mean, watching Odell with the whole goal net and the whole thing, that's something someone in my age.
That's
would
disturbed,
have
man.
That is messed
in
up.
his what, 20s, 30s? I'm 15. That's something that someone my age would have done.
Not even.
So.
You know what,
Didn't even
Chris?
think
Don't,
of
and
such,
don't
young
sell
man.
yourself short, Chris. You seem just in this short, brief time here. You're much more mature than that asshole.
He needs.
He
It's-
needs
psychiatric
he's a
help.
Kid. He's a,
I've seen other,
and you're going to be
years.
much more famous than him, by the way.
Oh, we hope so.
Oh, we're gonna get that in about 30
You
seconds.
heard that? He's like,
All
we
right.
hope so. I got a lot of money in this.
Look, I did a wire transfer this morning, so I have the same expectations as well.
So on that note, we got Chris Sanford and John Sanford here from Sanford Racing. It's a first-year team that races at Friday nights during the season up at Stafford Motor Speedway. So, Chris, give us a recap on your season.
Well, thanks for letting us come here today.
Yeah, this
We
is
really
awesome.
appreciate
Same thing for us. So
Peter's been
yeah, we
dying to
started
have
out
that room going.
Stafford in April, and the week before we had just gone to Burl Roos. So I got to thank Burl Roos. They make me a tremendous driver, especially Dennis Macchio. Those guys, man, they make NASCAR look like nothing. They're not even that fast, those Formula cars, compared to the grander scheme of things. But we went there, raced the Formula cars, and just having cars around me and everything was a big help. And
What makes you think about going racing? Did you have like cars when you built when you were a kid?
no, it was kind
Like
of in the
last
back
week?
of my mind in elementary school. But I played, Bob will tell you, I played baseball for about 8 years. I played football for about a season. I practiced basketball for a summer, and just nothing was hitting me. So I said, I got to try racing.
And they said get into a car?
No, go-kart. Junior
go-kart,
indoor
go-kart.
go-kart was when I first started. And then they have 3 different sets of karts. They have the juniors, they have the adults, and then they have super karts, which are the fastest they have. And I started out in the junior karts, struggled, but I at least they have leagues every Sunday. I struggled there, but eventually, once we upgraded, that helped me win the junior endurance championship. 30-minute races, and you have to make minimum one stop for your position to count. Really, I mean, you could win the race, but if you don't make that stop, it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, we started out at Stafford using rent a race car. I got to thank Gary and those guys for giving me those opportunity to race my full fender race car. It was the 26. That's where we met Brian, and we saw the 5 car for the first time. Beautiful. And just rented for about 7 or 8 weeks, and he has 4 different cars, and we raced 3 of them. So it was cool to get a feel for each different type of car, and eventually it came around where Brian just had enough, and Brian Granger, I got to thank him as well. He's the one that owned the 5 car before us. He had enough, and he said, I'm giving up my car amongst some other stuff, and said, we'll take it from you. And he was willing to make a plan out for us, and we took the car. And fortunately, the first week we had some problems. We were, I wouldn't say taken out, but we were out of the race first lap. Training fluid just soaked my rear tires, unfortunately, and from there, just it was actually pretty hard to get over that wreck. But I'm way back in the game now.
That's very touching.
And so we got the car back together 3 weeks later. Missed a few weeks, and from there, he just increased our time.
Are you trying to chase what's his name from Middletown? What the hell is his
You're going after
Logano, whatever.
Yeah, Logano.
Logano,
Yeah. I know a lot of people that used to like him when he first started, and now everyone I know that's especially from Connecticut and has anything to do with racing, they don't like him. I still like him. I don't care.
How many cars does a normal race car team have?
Depends.
Like on your level.
On my level, one.
Yeah. One, okay.
He's 15.
No, I know. I mean, I'm just saying.
I've seen 4 with the rental cars. I've seen 2 with this Fern family. They had 2 this season. They're moving up to limited late models, which is something between a dare stock and a late model. It's a little more restricted. So,
what's the insurance for a kid your age? Does he go to Geico or Progressive and shit like that?
Well, no. The track, you have to sign basically your life away.
Yeah. Give up
with
the house?
track. When we started, he's kind of jumping ahead a little bit. He started in 2013 at On Track Karting in Wallingford and in Brookfield, and that's the only really professional indoor go-kart track in Connecticut. They don't, you see these outdoor go-kart tracks where you take your kid and it goes about 7-8 miles an hour, and it puts
There's
around.
a Grand Prix one now. There's a couple now that come. I
There's
took
some
my
in
kids there,
Berlin.
and they're crazy.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, my kids are in them. They actually move, and I was like a lunatic
put
myself.
Starbucks in
Yeah.
there.
Well, when he started there outside, it was about 7-8 miles an hour, and he loved it. He's real young at the time. This goes back before 2013. But in 2013, I had coached him in Naugatuck for 7.5 years in Little League. And Bob's son was another
on the team, yep.
Kid on the team. So that's how I got to know Bob. And when we finished with that, Chris had to make a decision whether to go up higher in baseball or pursue something else. He's always been a nut about cars. And so we decided, this is his passion. Let's take a look at it. So we said, let's try some indoor go-karting, see how he does. Well, it was a big jump from the outdoor go-karts that do 7 or 8 miles an hour and the indoor go-karts. The indoor go-karts at on-track karting in Brookfield and in Wallingford, the junior karts can go up to 30, 35 miles an hour, and that's a big jump from 8. Right. So that to me was kind of scary watching him do that, and he mastered that pretty well, pretty quickly. The first season he was about 13th. The second season he was 7th. And by the third season, he was 3rd, and then he started winning a lot. In 2014, he was a junior Ironman champion at On Track. At that facility, his name is still hung by a banner for the junior go-kart endurance champion. That same year, in order to move up from that division, you have to, as a young kid, in order to drive an adult kart, those go up to 40, 45 maybe miles an hour. You have to show consistent times over a period of time, lap times, and some level of maturity, and you have to get approval.
Which he has a lot of, we can tell.
Well,
more than us.
Except in his fantasy football picks.
More than us.
Yeah,
a lot more. No, Chris, you said you had struggled early on. Is that what you mean? Like in terms of, is it all about time, or is it about your racing other cars? Well, it's about just like when you talk about you're coming in 13th, 7th, and whatever.
Yeah, he was saying that he was struggling at the beginning only because it was such a jump from outside to inside.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Every season he jumped 6, 7 more spots, and then
literally jump. Like were you jumping like Evel Knievel?
Yeah, no, figuratively. So by 2014 he was winning and winning pretty well and consistently. So in order to get the upgrade approval, he had to show consistent times, fast times, and they have a time set at both tracks because both tracks have different configurations. So in 2014, he in addition to the junior Ironman champion, he moved up to upgrade. He got approved, and he won the 2014 upgrade class champion at On Track Karting. And at that point, we knew that he had something because a lot of the kids that he was racing against had many more years' experience just with indoor go-karts. And he was just kind of green. But he was doing well at it. And we kept tweaking.
So you're kind of teaching him along the way, I'm thinking, because how is he learning?
Well,
learning on the fly.
I built model cars. I sniffed the glue. I had a Matchbox car collection, which I would set on fire and all that. But where I never learned how to drive because I crash every other day.
Yeah.
So where is he really learning, the skills that's necessary to take him where he is?
At On Track, there was a head official there who's no longer there, and he took a couple lessons with him. And we just were relentless on tweaking things with the track.
Brian relates to tweaking.
Yeah.
Drive.
There's a line that you have to drive. We were working on the line, and it was that being detailed oriented. And we also have hand signals that you don't see a lot of other parents doing because I
not like the hand signals we're used to, like
We're saying you're number one.
It's funny you say that.
You cut me off back there, asshole.
Yeah, I tell you, it's funny you say that because he started winning so much that we had a parent actually give him the bird.
Really?
At the end of a race and was dropping F-bombs.
Really?
I would have done Dad Gone Wild.
But by legitimate race. In other words, we always see, on NASCAR, and I love it, when they take the helmet off or they throw it at the car and the driver's
Tony Stewart.
There's, don't you have to kind of cross that line of just who cares about fucking pissing people off? I'm here to win.
Yeah, at that point, he was raw. He was muscling out these wins, and he was borderline doing it as clean as he could. So we needed to, again,
muscling out meaning get out of the car. We'll settle this right now. God
Put a
damn
little
it.
bump and
I'm
run
gonna
on the final
kick
lap.
Your fucking ass.
Yeah.
That's what he could do. He could
shoves them wide and he gets them.
He can talk shit and just say, "What? Are you gonna hit a 15-year-old?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
True too.
What are you gonna do?
And,
Tell them that story.
yeah.
Oh, get out shit on their hood.
Oh, what, that happened one time.
What happened?
STP here, baby. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, no, he got to the point where he was winning, but we needed to continue to tweak it so that he started winning even cleaner. And that took more time, more reps, more time at both tracks. So
fantastic.
at that point, he then he broke the record.
Beat the dirty game of auto racing. He became clean.
At that point, we were up in we moved from Wallingford track to the Brookfield track, and we wanted to master that. And then he started winning championship there as well. And at the Brookfield location, he actually set the all-time record in a supercart. Now, the funny thing with the supercarts are, under no circumstance are you supposed to be able to drive those as a kid.
Okay.
Those are for adults and advanced adults. And so
the siblings of Mario Andretti.
Well, those carts can go up to 55 miles an hour, and we're indoors. And
now you're talking serious
now we're moving.
goddamn injury. Now you're talking a nice crash and a car fire.
We were able to find a way, let's say, to get him into that cart. And let's just say that he had already broken the record when he wasn't supposed to be in.
Right.
We have audio of his
What
last
did you
race.
do? Did you take his library card and just forge the date? Okay, we'll just make it right. Indie champion here and cross out that didn't renew the book.
We got audio of his last race.
All right, let's take a look at that.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
And that's the first lap.
It's like, jeez, that fucking punk.
Yeah, so in
fantastic
in Brookfield, once we set the record, and that record still stands there in a supercart, and he got approved to drive it, and then he broke it again. That I believe it still stands there in Brookfield. But okay, so
Who pays for the car?
They pay everything at On Track.
No, this one.
Okay. So then we decided, all right, we want to start driving cars. Enough with the go-karts. Let's move on.
Yeah, he mastered that. Right.
So this season we started with rental cars through RAR chassis.
Oh, okay.
And
I
RAR,
thought it was like an Enterprise
I was
Prius.
going to say Rent-A-Wreck. Remember? Rent-A-Wreck was a great thing for me.
No O.J. Simpson here. Just
Oh, jeez.
Prius with 130 octane.
So we searched out there's only really one company that will rent race cars, and it's in the Dare Stock division up at Stafford, and it's RAR Chassis. They're out of Berlin. So Paulie V, Gary, and those guys, they're Butchie and them, Kyle, the whole crew, Armand, Steve, they helped us get started in Chris putting him in a car. Now, what's unorthodox is, and I've had a lot of flack from other, we'll just say that the few haters out there, is that you're not supposed to go from an indoor go-kart
to a race car.
A race car. You should have some time at an outdoor go-kart, do a year or two with that, and then after that, you should have a year or two with what they call legend cars, which are smaller cars, and then maybe 3-4 years down the road, jump into one of those
but there's not many legend cars up in this area, right? It's more down toward the Carolinas.
No,
Florida.
there's there's a decent crew up at Stafford that runs them. We have a friend Teddy Hodgkin that runs there, and he runs really well. But I said, hey, all these years that I was coaching them in baseball, these other kids were racing. So my thought process was, and it has always been, don't think inside the box. All right? Let's be unorthodox here. I think he can handle it. So, again, I took him down to different areas that I don't want to disclose and had him driving my Mustang and driving the truck when, again, even to this minute.
Oh, so those are the burn-outs on Peter J. Foley.
And a lot of parents who do this
college
sort of
campuses,
you run a risk. We got to have one eye out for the cops coming around that he's not supposed to be in it. I got to tell you, my nerves were shot.
How do you sleep at night?
Yeah, I don't know.
He barely sleeps.
But
now, did you try to work your advantage, just like maybe combining like moving moonshine and the act of getting across the state line in one shot? Because that is now you're talking about excitement.
You're trying to apply the Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, we're from here at Texarkana and back in 28 hours.
It was.
I see Chris like watching Dukes of Hazzard reruns there, saying, "Dad, I want to do this."
He can cite you lines off of Smokey and the Bandit.
That's
awesome.
That's awesome.
So we worked with him with my Mustang. We worked with him with the truck, both in an automatic for the size of a car, and with the Mustang. And I said, well, let's. I want him to be able to pursue every kind of racing, even though he's a NASCAR nut. So this year was the year to move him into a car. So we started with the RAR chassis rental cars up at Stafford, and simultaneously I called Dennis Macchio up at Bertle Roos Racing School in Pennsylvania. And even then, a lot of these schools, you need to be at least 16 and have a license. I was able, again, to negotiate him.
That library card again.
I got that library card, yeah. I'm holding that with almost everything.
Just not to cut you off, the resentment you talked about, is that kind of where, like you said, are we talking like crank calls here, a dozen eggs in your house on Halloween, or what?
Oh, wait a minute, that's next week.
What's the resentment that you were getting because they know he's not of age?
No.
And they're kind of like, how the fuck are you getting away with it?
You know what? It's because he's winning.
He's winning.
That is
you
awesome.
have, and he's winning, and he hasn't really put as much time in. Some of these other parents, they're spending lots of money outdoors in an outdoor go-kart.
And he's just doing it at one track indoors at two different places.
Doesn't it suck, Chris? These sore losers out there, man, that just, they're still in their like little rascal mobiles, going down the street ringing their bells. And this guy's, he's getting the flag, the white flag, and the real flag across the finish line.
Well, and I'll tell you, it got really ugly, too. It got to the point where we had a
manager. Dozen eggs?
No, worse.
Oh, really?
We had a manager
want to hear about that.
at On Track Karting put a bounty on his head.
You said that. I remember
that. Are you serious?
He offered.
Great candy bar, by the way, but come on.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
So
here?
I don't want to fault On Track Karting for this. But they had a bad apple, and that bad apple's still there.
Really?
Anybody that lives in Brookfield's a bad apple.
Well,
this is a lot more than just your flaming bag of shit at the front door here.
Yes, yeah. And so there was plenty of times throughout the last couple years where my half-Italian background I had to put in check. Because I tend to be on low simmer.
Paisan.
Yeah.
Now, are you Sicilian or Calabrese?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it really boiled down to how much crap can I eat and without responding, and do I love my son more than I hate these bastards? And so I had to eat it, and so we moved on. And this was the year to get involved. And Bertle Roos, I'll let Chris talk more about it. We got him into a Formula race car, which are like Indy type cars. And he got a chance this year to race several times on the Pocono Raceway out in Pennsylvania.
That's big time.
That's awesome.
And
that place
I tell
is
you,
big time.
when we first got him there,
Fantastic.
To have some of that experience with the Mustang, being able to shift, because those now are stick cars, they're open wheel, your head is out, all right, and he's doing about $120 in one of those cars, and he went again. Played a sleep button. I wasn't sleeping. My nerves are shot. I had more agita than you could imagine. But I'll let Chris talk a little bit about Bertle Roos. And Dennis Macchio and those guys really worked. When you asked before about working on technique and driver capability, they really honed the particulars. They have a saying at Bertle Roos, do it right.
Right.
And Dennis is the one guy I've seen along our journey so far that far supersedes anybody that we run into.
Before you talk, Chris, and I'm just curious, John, how far did you go with your racing career? I mean, where did you? Are you living vicariously through your son here? You're not gonna crash him into the wall, mind you. But
honestly, I don't live vicariously through him at all.
Okay.
When I grew up, it was baseball, football, basketball, hockey.
Right.
And I barely watched racing. There was some racing that we watched in NASCAR.
Right.
My
so
brother.
Where's the crazy gene here?
Well, my brother was involved in racing, and he had some nice cars. My father was in the auto business. My brother was in the auto business. My uncle was in the auto business, and so I was around it. But not to this extent.
I'll tell you. I mean, I always wanted to be a race car driver. I remember, the snapper lawnmower my father had. Well, no, let me just finish my story.
He'd probably be the Jimmy Spencer.
Going back in the 70s, my father had a snapper lawnmower. I mean, and this thing, when we would take it, when it got up into fifth gear, I'm telling you, it was like, we're talking 15 miles an hour. My brother and I were driving around the neighborhood. And, really, I mean, that's about as far as I got to really be
I used to pop the wheels on my grandfather, Angelo Guglielmi's Little Rider mower.
Let me tell you, the snapper has power.
That's power.
It's a power lawnmower right there.
Yeah.
And then the remote control cars or whatever. But, so God bless you, Chris, for
What's
coming
it like
this far.
being a kid in school when you're doing all this?
Oh, it's kind of a 50-50 split. I mean, I go to auto shop and I'm on O'Brien Tech. I take automotive technology, and those basically everyone there is jealous. They don't say it, but you could tell. There's other kids that are
Damn
jealous.
Straight.
But some of them are just, they think about the whole redneck thing. Oh, you're white, you're a redneck, you're this, you're whatever.
I was going to ask you about that.
Tell them you're a cracker.
I'm glad you brought it up first, because that's what everyone does say about the.
And that's the thing where it gets me upset is where.
Where does that label come from anyway? Besides the obvious.
Cracker is a Florida term.
No, redneck. The redneck.
It's because
Southern.
down south, it's
the Southern thing.
because
right.
they get tanned, and the only time they tan is in the back of their neck. It's stupid.
Yep.
So I mean, but I share it with.
So I'm a redneck.
My auto teacher, he's really cool. He's like, oh, how'd you do, this weekend? Said, well, we got another top 10 or, finished 12th or whatever. But yeah, I got a lot of buddies that actually, a couple of them I'll mention. Travis Hydar and George Bissett, they raced junior.
They sound
outlaw
like
cart.
a pit crew, don't they?
A little bit, yeah.
No, they race junior outlaw carts at Stafford. They have a cart division every Monday night.
We used to have a sponsor named Artie Morin, who I think he drives at Stafford.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. A lot of people up there.
Yeah, there's a lot. But they got their stocks. They bought one just recently, and the other he bought during when I was racing. So now we got 4 teenagers. The last one is Jake Higginson. All great guys. I love being around all of them. They're great racers, and I look forward to next season. Not only getting behind the wheel, but especially with those guys, and see how things pan out. So.
How do we get a sticker on the car?
Well, we invite, and this is one thing.
Yep.
I
Well,
appreciate
invite
the
us. We used to be in a hood.
We're looking for
Stafford.
sponsors.
Swear to God.
I was just going to get into
for
that about
next year.
sponsorship.
Yeah, this is the amount of money that me and my company, Sanford Real Estate and Investment, or you could look it up at sanfordrei.com.
Easy, I'm sending you the invoice.
Through we've and me and my fiance Barb, who's here in the studio, we've supported Chris wholeheartedly.
Oh,
and it's
jackpot!
and it's runs well into the 5 figures this year.
Oh, wow.
It's
fantastic. Good for you,
it's
man.
It's
You want to sponsor us?
Yeah.
I was going to say, all of a sudden, things just switched over.
We're going from sport. We're going from the sports and negotiating real quick.
we're so like it happens all the time. But we're so tired of seeing insufficient funds pop up on the ATM machine. Doesn't seem like you have that problem.
No, we have that problem. Trust me.
I mean, you're talking.
Please see cashier
My
inside.
my fiance is still engaged to me, but I tell you, there's times where
It's tough.
she's wondering,
It's tough.
are we going to make the mortgage payment so he could fix the car again? And
Right.
it's,
I mean, you're talking sponsorship. I mean, go into detail just a little bit about the different types of sponsorship. Because, I mean, I look at it, Nextel Series Cup race. I'll use Dale Jr., for example, who's not racing right now. He's got the Nationwide 88 on one side.
Fuck you.
He's got
fuck Christmas.
Yeah, that too. But he's got also all these other sponsorships, smaller sponsorships on the sides of his cars. Go into detail how that works.
Well, every car, every team, they need sponsors, right? So on the car, as you strip it down, whether it's really the size of the sticker or the size.
We had the hood last year at Stafford.
Oh, there you go. All right.
That was a lot of money.
That's a big one, man.
How
The
big
hood.
it is and where it's placed on the car will tell you how much more money they've spent in order to sponsor the team. For example, if you're in the front two fenders, those small stickers that you see, those are smaller sponsors, or they could just be stickers from someone that may have given you parts, or it's on the smaller end. When you're on the back quarters or you're on the door, usually you're talking about the back quarters, you spent a lot more money. If you're on the hood, that's primo. And then they have TV side versus the other side.
That makes
So
sense.
when you're dealing with oval tracks, the sponsors that are on the right side of the car,
That's TV
especially
side.
in the rear, the TV side, are going to spend more than the people. In other words, the right rear quarter is going to cost more than the left rear quarter. Then you got the bumper, you got the back,
deck lid,
and the hood. And so those, the amount of money that you spend, and each team has it set up differently.
What would it cost us to wrap the whole car?
Well, we could talk about that after this, but it's the help fund. One of the things that Chris did really well this year at Stafford was he was normally with rookie drivers. Once like Chris said, after the first 6 weeks or so, Brian Granger, who ran this 5 car, who owned the 5 car, he had to leave because his job wouldn't allow him to race on Friday nights. So the car became available, and there were other people who wanted it. And again, I used my library card
I love
to
Brian uses it for
try to
everything.
negotiate my way in to get this car for us. And it's a tremendous car. But normally what you see with rookies and second year drivers is that they don't have a feel for the car, or there's too much car, and they cause a lot of accidents. One of the proudest things I am of Chris, other than how he's carrying himself outside of the car and his increase in lap times at Stafford as well as Pocono, and we also raced the Formula car at New Jersey Motor Sports Park.
Did we do Landmark at all?
No, not yet.
No? Okay. That's more Indy?
It's more road course. Yeah, you'll see Porsches. You'll see more stick shift type of cars.
More like the cars that would do like 24 hours at Daytona. Some of the prototypes.
Yeah, more endurance races, that sort of thing. But one of the things I'm most proud of Chris this year at Stafford was that he avoided every crash except one. And the only crash that he was in was one that was caused by him because and this was my mistake, I relied on others who said that the car was fine with tranny fluid leaking, and the tranny fluid blew all over the back tires.
Jesus
and
Christ!
He got
race.
banged.
Stuff a cork in it, asshole.
Why didn't anybody tell me about the travesties
was-
our people have been subjected to?
It's on me. I don't.
Did they make you mop up the mess too?
It was bad. He spun out in turn 4, came around, tried to overdrive it, and went into the wall, took out another car. That's the only time that he was ever in a crash this year. And this is one division where there are multiple crashes
Left and right.
every single week. There's very aggressive drivers in this division, and there's multiple crashes. There's times where he had to drive on the grass to avoid it. And I'm sitting there thinking, here's a kid who doesn't have a license yet, and where a lot of these other drivers drive back and forth to work every week. He doesn't drive back and forth to work every week.
Are they nasty to him? Like the senior drivers? No.
No. There's a couple.
Get a license, asshole.
Yeah.
Do they have kids gloves because he is a kid?
Normally, the rookies, there's a rule that you have to put a yellow stripe on the back of the car, which we have to race with all year. If it's your first race,
kind of like student driver.
Yeah, that's really what it is. But the problem with it is, and Tom Fox, who we know at Stafford, he runs the show really at Stafford. Tom Fox does a tremendous handling of the Stafford Speedway up there at Stafford. But there's always going to be a couple immature, ego-driven guys.
Shocking. It is shocking.
Yeah. You mean in this room or at the track?
And so there's always what I call a couple problem children out there. And so we've had to deal with that.
Problem child.
They don't look at the yellow stickers and mean anything. They look at it as they're salivating like Pavlovian dogs, saying, hey, look, here's the punk, here's the rookie. Let's check him out and push him around.
They see skull and crossbones. They don't see a yellow sticker.
They smell blood and they want it. Yep. So he's been banged around a lot, and yet he still didn't crash. And so, again, I mean, it's a tremendous thing to have a rookie up there who is at his age, who at least for, the thing, we ran into different people who would come up to me and say, why isn't he doing this? Why is he doing that? You should do this, you should do that. And really they were living vicariously because they had a different timetable. Yeah. And their timetable does not mesh with my timetable. My approach to this is slow and steady. And we have goals. Every week we go to the track. We accomplish those goals almost every single week. And then I have what we call gravy goals. Like if we can milk one more thing, one extra thing we would do it. He hit them every week. And like Dennis Macchio at Bertil Roos it says all the time, not only you got to do things right, but you're not going to become a race car driver in one race. And so it's little building blocks, slow and steady, and something you can monitor each week. But to avoid all these crashes and not cause a crash, except for the tranny fluid. And again,
that's more mechanical than you if you think about it.
It's mechanical, but we put some damage on another car that we apologize for immediately after. I think it's important.
Kind of like when you hit someone from behind. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, so in other words, you don't want to pull a late Dale Earnhardt. You just bump him out of the way, throw him into the wall, and run.
Well, that's how Chris was in the beginning with go-karts.
Oh, awesome. So you don't have to call a cop, do the whole insurance report. No. You just say you're sorry and move on.
Well, a lot of guys don't get into the I'm sorry's. It's always the other guy. We don't want our Sanford racing team is built on
more stand-up.
Try to be more stand-up. Yeah. And I talk to Chris all the time about how you act when you get out of the car. And I know adrenaline is rushing with a lot of these guys that get out of the car and they want to fight. You caused damage, you did something. It's hard to tell whether a lot of times with the drivers, whether they really know whether it was an intentional thing or not. They say they do, and sometimes they can. But when you got a rookie driver out there, our approach for the first beginning of the season, at least up in Stafford, was try to keep the car in one piece.
Right.
All right. Try to increase your times every week. Work on the couple goals that we had, which could be a line tweaking, could be going faster through the turn, could be whatever. And every week he got better. He cut off on that track over 3 seconds of lap time from the time he got in the car until the last race. And I got to tell you, a second is a long time. So 3 seconds.
Especially up there.
It's forever.
Yeah.
When he finished the year, he had 3 top 10 finishes. He finished 7th at one point. He had moved up the line as far as point standings. He finished 12th in points out of 36 drivers.
And you missed 3 races.
And we missed 3 races. So, and he came second in points in the Rookie of the Year. And missing 3 races. Wow. So,
fantastic.
People would say, all right, well, that's okay. But I always tell Chris all the time, we're not here to please everybody else. Yeah. We have our own goals. We got to keep our heads down and just try to get better every single week. Yep. So we were going back and forth between Stafford and Bertil Roos, Stafford, Bertil Roos. And it's, as Dennis would tell you too, it's taking longer to get them to master both. But in the long run, we want to be able to field a call from anybody out there in the racing world that may need a driver. It could be Porsche, it could be Indy, it could be anything. It could be a truck, it could be whatever. So I want them to be more versatile.
Yeah, because there's so much.
Can't you go like to Indeed.com and just type in NASCAR driver and then have something pop up? No,
there's just so many.
Like Monster.
Not even NASCAR. Like today, they have a Formula One race over in Austin, Texas. You got IndyCar, you got the endurance cars. What are your plans for the off season and for 2017? I mean, you got to be doing some kind of physical training as well. I mean, let's face it. It's not like the days when you have Dick Trickle smoking a cigarette over at Talladega.
You know, if you get sweaty and want to take your shirt off, that'd be just
Kelly Yarborough down at Daytona fighting.
Yeah. No, our just an off season is just just go over video every week. We go to Stafford. There's video. We had some video from Roos. Just check that out, and I blew a shift there. I didn't turn in early enough, or I turned in too late. Things like that. Just kind of go over it for next year, and if the funds are there, work on the car. I mean, it doesn't really need too much, but just do that. And I'm actually not too worried yet about physical training. We're only doing 95, 100, and I can get that car settled in and down to speed and everything as I get through the corners. Okay, and actually I've seen some guys in my division that make me look like a runt because they're that big. So, but yeah, no, that's just what we have for the off season. Bob, I look forward to your sponsorship. That's awesome that you're coming on board.
There's other things we're doing too, and these are things that I thought of that are a little bit unorthodox that maybe others aren't doing. In fact, I'm a little hesitant to even share, but I don't care. I look at it like
not here. This is the place. This is the venue.
This is where it all begins.
Well, one of the things that we're going to be looking at is a light board, hand-eye coordination light boards that drivers in NASCAR, upper division drivers will use, and it's a board that you put up on the wall.
Yep.
And you're standing up, and as the lights go up, you got to hit it with your hands, and you work on that constantly. It's monotonous.
Right.
It's tiring, but it's something that's going to help his hand-eye coordination. Another thing that I'm putting together right now with a drummer that used to be in my band is we're gonna design a foot pedals as a drummer would, to get the strength of his ankles up, to get his coordination and his timing and his speed up as far as
Wouldn't soccer help him with that?
It could, but he needs more work just on the ankles as opposed to just kicking.
Not grabbing them either.
Yeah. Well, and he doesn't really – I mean, he's still in good shape, but he's – you were talking about this.
While he's eating a Twizzler.
Yeah.
It's off season, bro.
Yeah. So that's something that we're working on.
You eat. You're skinning both.
Look, man, he's in his carefree younger days, Bob. Give the kid a break.
Yeah.
At 15,
you
it
can have a
metabolizes
fucking
before
Twizzler, man.
So there's other things, too, that we're doing that may not be so orthodox, but stuff that is going to help him.
And he's having fun with it. I was even thinking, my daughter's pissed away a lot of money in that stupid fucking arcade game where the lights go around and you got to hit that button right when it hits that thing to get a prize, and they're always just one off.
And what's wrong with Pac-Man?
I want to bring Chris there and go home with a shitload of stuffed animals and fucking iPods and all that other shit because they don't know what they're doing. I'm like, you hit it late.
Yeah.
You're late.
Yeah.
I bet you could go in there, man, and they'll be like, look, we tend to watch things like that, like Atlantic City. You're a pro. Now you need to take your stuff down and get the fuck out of here, man, before we call the cops.
What is it doing to your personal life? I know you're only 15, but do you go out with your friends?
Well, it definitely keeps me healthy because I try to eat healthier actually as much as I was eating Twizzlers, but I try to eat.
Have a steak and cheese, kid. Don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, no, I have my fair share of that as well, but I try to eat my fruits and my veggies and when I can. But it definitely. It's weird because, I'll be in a Formula car 1 second. I'll be heading down New Jersey Motorsports Park, the home stretch. I'll be drafting someone doing a $120 and having the air push my helmet back towards me. I actually had that happen. And It was shaking and everything. I'm like, oh, God. And then 1 second, I'm downshifting, coming into the pits, and I get out, and it's like everything's still. It's like silent. And, one thing I can say about Formula cars is it's open. You can see everything.
Right.
It's so cool. And I remember one time we were doing the North course because after we did the North course, we just did the South course at Pocono. Road course is built into the oval, and we go to the opposite direction of what NASCAR does. So there's a part where it goes back onto the banking, and I just remember just getting in the third, and I took a split second, and I looked around, and I'm like, wow, this is a really nice view. And then back into fourth, but I love Formula cars. I love stock cars.
Are you a normal kid? Do you still text and stuff like that?
I'm all over social media.
I can't get him off the phone. It's ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
I had to tell him to put it away even in air.
You got to be careful, man, because that's going to mess up with your hands. You can develop carpal tunnel.
I tell you, there's times where he was driving the truck.
Do you text and drive?
No.
He was driving the truck, and even times where he got out of some of the race cars, and his hands were stiff from the tenseness of driving.
I would think so.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, he's I don't know if you guys ever saw that ESPN had did a 30 and 30 on Todd Marinovich.
Oh, yeah, yep.
His father, who made him into this pro quarterback.
Waste of talent, unfortunately.
It's unfortunate. And one of the things that I saw with that was fathers, you were talking before about vicariously, where they push their kids so hard that it addresses your point about, do you have any kind of social life? I really try to strike a balance of not driving them into the dirt, no pun intended,
right.
And to have them have time, whether it's, with my ex-wife or with his friends or going out, or let's just do something different. Let's watch TV. Let's watch a movie. Some of these kids you see, even when I was coaching Little League, you see in sports, I think in general, when you're dealing with young kids, I try to be as cognizant as I can about mushing them in, just shoving his face in so deep that he has no life at all. And the Marinovich thing that they did, that's what happened later on. I mean, Todd Marinovich ended up going to college. And next thing you know, he's doing drugs. He's because he was so he didn't even go to McDonald's his entire childhood. He was on a vitamin regimen. He was on. Now I talked to Chris about enough sleep. We talk about when we were doing go-karting, hand signals. We talk about the line. Like we really break down
and chicken McNuggets.
How did you know? I get that with my library card too.
I mean. When Chris says supersize, I'm talking supersize here, man.
All right, everybody, call us at 203-992-7776, 203-992-7776. Also, check us out in the chat room on BPRradio.net. We're going to come back with some more Chris and Sanford Racing. We're going to pay some bills. We'll be right back. Automotive in Darlington, Connecticut has been in business for 28 years. They stock over 450 quality pre-owned cars. They have the highest quality cars with haggle-free price, complete financing for all credit scores. They take all trade-ins. They are rated with the Better Business Bureau AAA. They were voted CTI ADA Quality Dealer of the Year. Visit jnmautomotive.com for cars, pics, videos, and descriptions. jnmautomotive.com. They're located in Naugatuck on 756 and 820 New Haven Road with over 250 cars in the lot. Call them at 203-723-5666. That's 203-723-5666. Also, go check them out on New Haven Road and check out their website, jnmautomotive.com. And tell them PPRN sent you. Hi there, and if you need any kind of work done to your car, you can try DeSilva's Auto Body, located in Naugatuck at 275 Rubber Avenue. Serving the Naugatuck Valley community with the highest quality of craftsmanship for 25 years, we pride ourselves in delivering on our promise of extraordinary customer service and product satisfaction. We have recently expanded our business with in-house experts and industry gold standard equipment. So once again, give us a call at DeSilva's Auto Body, 203-729-5967. That's 203-729-5967, located in Naugatuck on Rubber Avenue. Once again, to Silva's Auto Body, 203-729-5967. J&M Automotive in Naugatuck, Connecticut has been in business for 28 years. They stock over 450 quality pre-owned cars. They have the highest quality cars with haggle-free price, complete financing for all credit scores. They take all trade-ins. They are rated with the Better Business Bureau AAA. They were voted CTI ADA Quality Dealer of the Year. Visit jnmautomotive.com for cars, pics, videos, and descriptions. JNMautomotive.com. They're located in Naugatuck on 756 and 820 New Haven Road with over 250 cars in the lot. Call them at 203-723-5666. That's 203-723-5666. Also, go check them out on New Haven Road and check out their website, JNPPRN. Looking for something to do in Naugatuck? Check out D-Man's Bar and Restaurant. It's a local hub offering delicious gourmet burgers, wings, wraps, steaks, and more. Stop by and enjoy their casual atmosphere sitting in the bar, the lounge, or dining room, or kick back on the patio. D-Man's is located at 1370 New Haven Road in Naugatuck. That's 1370 New Haven Road in Naugatuck. D-Man's is going to be broadcasting live a PPRN radio show on Wednesday, July 20th. Go down and check out the PPRN radio show broadcasting live from D-Man's in Naugatuck, 1370 New Haven Road, Naugatuck, Connecticut. That's 1370 New Haven Road. Go check out their patio, their bar, and their lounge. They have great food, too. Also, don't forget to check out D-Man's throughout the week for drink specials and local talent. Once again, check out D-Man's, 1370 New Haven Road, Naugatuck, Connecticut. Tell them PPRN sent you. Did you just hear how bad that sounded? Well, you won't get that sound at Hat City Music Productions, located at 536 Federal Road in Brookfield. CEO Chris Litwin takes your music to the next level. If you're tired of those basement recordings, those people that you pay too much money for and have you get out within a half hour, well, you won't have that problem. Hat City Music Productions, once again located at 536 Federal Road in Brookfield. Go check out Hat City Music Productions. You won't be disappointed. Tell them PPRN sent you. Aw, fuck! Aw, fuck!
You're listening to PPRN, motherfucker.
You're listening to PPRN. Giggity, giggity, goo.
just hold on to each other's hands. This time might be the last fear, unless I make it all too clear. I need you so. Tonight, we can take what was wrong and make it right. Baby, it's all I know, that you're half of the flesh and blood that makes me whole. You're half of the flesh and blood that makes me whole. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Learn to live so free. And when we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up and let us in. Take these broken wings. You got to learn to fly, learn to live and love so free. And when we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up for us and let us in. Yeah, pinned to my wall, an image of you and of me, and we're laughing with love at it all. Look at our life now, all tattered and torn. We fuss and we fight and delight. ask her forgiveness, though I don't know just what I'm asking it for. Hold me now. Warm my heart. Stay with me. Let loving start. Let loving start. Hold me now. Warm my heart. Stay with me. Let loving start. Let loving start. Hold me now. Warm my heart. Stay with me. Stay with me. Let loving start. Let loving start. Hold me now. Warm my heart. Stay with me. Stay with me. Let loving start. Let loving start.
Caterpillars? No, that's a parts company that one of the guys
It looks
worked
like the
on the car.
Caterpillar logo, though.
Yeah, but that's I think it's, I looked it up.
Oh, I
that's
see,
new
because
example.
they make all, yeah. Yeah, you got like that Caterpillar. That's awesome, though. And I've seen them both on NASCAR. They got it.
They are, no, they do Ryan Newman. They do the first one car.
Monster company.
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart.
There we go. We're back. PBRNradio.net. Check us out on the live feed. We are in the studio with Chris Sanford of Sanford Racing. Talking, what are we talking about? Giants are losing.
9:36 to go in the second quarter. Rams 10, Giants nothing. The Giants are driving 1st and 10 on the Rams' 15-yard line.
That's good. I'm glad they're
That's good.
losing.
So that's good. So anyway, we got, like we said, we got John and Chris Sanford. Chris is a 15-year-old driver up at Stafford Springs. I guess the biggest question I would have is, it's very simple. You don't have a driver's license. How does NASCAR, because they're related with NASCAR a little bit, how does a 15-year-old get approved by Stafford Springs, Waterford, Daytona International, whatever? How does a 15-year-old get approved to drive out a license?
So when you apply for it, I originally applied for it because I had to drive a rental car, and they won't let you out there without it. And so you have to be 14 years of age.
To even be in the paddock area.
Yeah, to even be in
which
there.
Is the pits.
And you have to be 14 to drive as well. And I read an article recently about a kid who, unfortunately, his age wasn't right, and he had a modified, and he actually won a modified race, but they had to strip him of it because he wasn't 14.
He wasn't old enough.
Really?
So,
Didn't have the proper library authentication.
A lot of good young drivers coming up.
Should have taken out a few books first.
He didn't have the library card.
Unbelievable. How embarrassing. Well, how old was he really? Was he put?
I was going to say
13.
That has to probably a little longer process than it's somebody that has a regular driver's license.
Well, there's a waiver that you have to sign. Okay. There's things with the track that you have to sign. It is a NASCAR sanctioned track, as Stafford is. And so the parents, myself, I had to sign off on him
Right.
That we're not going to jump ugly with anybody if he gets into a wreck. And that's also nerve-wracking. Not only
in
just
other words,
watching-
there's no one to sue. There's no liability. I mean, it's kind of like when you know.
I have a civil litigation background, and when I looked at the legal lease that was put in there, they're pretty well protected with it, which made me even a little more
a little worrisome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching my son who could be killed out there, and there's not a thing with a heartbeat I love more, and I love my fiance. My son is everything to me, but it's his passion.
John. That's
and,
great.
So yeah, going to we had to sign off on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're live on PPRN.
Hey, I'm listening to your show right now.
Shocking.
That's weird.
How does that work?
Radio.
Wow.
What's up? Who's this?
This is Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. That's the defensive coordinator for the Steelers, who's doing a terrible job right now. So, do I know you?
But we're doing better than Bob Clark's favorite team over there, the Dallas Cowboys.
Who's 5-1? Who's got a better defense? Let's go with that.
Let's talk facts.
Who also has a terrible hatred against America, the Cowboys?
Everybody in America.
Everybody who hates jumping on the bandwagon.
No, they don't.
Oh, yes, they do. Just because the Cowboys are relevant for the first time since 1995.
I'll tell you what, my friend. We like Todd Bowles. We like the Cowboys, but we don't like you.
And that's coming from Brian.
Wow.
Oh, Brian, you shut your dirty whore mouth.
You just brought him down a notch. His self-esteem.
I'm eating Twizzlers now. It's not worth it.
You shut your dirty
I
mouth.
want to hear Clark Barr's opinion on
Chicago's. Shapoopy.
On the Cowboys, I'll be up front. I'm very surprised with their 5-1 start. I mean,
who's chewing like a cow?
It's a goddamn bye week. What do you call next week?
No. I'll get into a couple minutes. I mean, obviously Todd doesn't know about NASCAR and how we have NASCAR guests, and that's what we're trying to focus on right now. But I'll get into the Cowboys for a couple minutes. I knew Ezekiel Elliott was going to be pretty good. Dak Prescott, I'm very surprised on how well he's doing. I think as much as I want to see Romo come back as the starter, I think they're going to keep Prescott. I really thought they
would be the dumbest.
But now, dude, what about Romo? When he comes back, you think, knowing Jerry Jones, he'll throw him right in there.
That would be the dumbest thing Jerry would do is to screw up the momentum now.
But you know what? At the end of the day,
and it would be selfish of Romo to fucking even just jump in.
Well,
I agree. He should refuse.
The one who's got to step up here is Jason Garrett. The one who's got to step up here is Jason Garrett, the head coach. He's got to show how much of a coach he is, and just he's got to tell Jerry Jones, hey, this is what's working well. We got to stay with the plan that's going on.
That's because his job's in jeopardy.
Exactly, but you know what? If Garrett's.
Hey, all right, yeah. I mean, I talked about the college football games last night.
No, we don't.
How do you watch football in between cook and meth, dude?
I think it's either we take a next caller or back to NASCAR.
What do you want to talk about?
You guys are a sports radio network.
All right,
You should be able to talk about all sports.
We should, but I mean, that's what we're doing in the 11 o'clock hour. We're focusing the first 2 hours on Sanford Racing, an up-and-coming program at Stafford Motor Springs Speedway, if you're following the threads that we were posting on social network.
Yeah, no. Riddle me this, Bob Clark. How do you feel about the Timber team at Woodland High School?
Hey, that's my brother's old team. My nephews played for both teams, so.
So you're playing on Timber Sports?
My brother George was the coach for freshmen, and then my nephew Jake was.
Your brother's the coach of the Timber team at Woodland?
No, the high school. He was. Hello?
Dead air.
Next caller, please.
Oh, the Pop Warner team. Is that what it is?
They're like lumberjacks.
Oh. What did they
Never heard of them.
Yeah, never heard of them.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys got to look into that. I feel like that's a sport you guys would get off to.
You might be good at it.
It's just throwing axes. And,
I'll tell you what. Give us your address, and we'll come over, and we'll chop down a tree on your house. How about that? And hopefully,
And then we'll throw some timber around. How about that?
Hopefully you'll be in the bathroom when we do it. Because you're talking a lot of shit now, pal.
How am I talking shit? I'm just asking if you guys know some sports. You're a sports radio network.
I think we've already determined that, though. What are you watching? Hee-haw reruns over there?
Watching the Dukes of Hazzard.
Goddamn opinion.
Let me tell you what I think of your opinion.
Oh, that was creative. Blow into a $30 mic you got at Walmart.
That's a $96.
Really? Now you want to get personal, right? I was trying to be nice, but now you're getting personal. $30 wall. All right, sir. What do you do for a living?
He's an asshole.
Could you even afford a mic on your own? Or you just call up random radio shows and just be an idiot, right? You hung up because you're a little bitch. Good night.
Okay, back to live action. Do this.
Don't forget, we got your number, so anytime we feel like calling you, dumbass, you should have blocked your number.
All right. Well, anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about, the getting a license. So it's a long process, especially for somebody who's not 16 years old.
It's not long. It's just a real legalese driven. You sign a form. You sign, your rights away, your body parts away to let your kid race, and then he gets in. Like Chris was saying, in order to be in the paddock, what they call the paddock area up at Stafford, you got to be at least 14 to begin with. And to race, if you're underage, you have to have at least one parent sign off.
Right.
So, and once we got the number 5, what we call the lean, green, mean machine.
Right.
Number 5 car. That's our.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
We're digging
number 5.
The number 5. Off and running we went, but every week it's nerve wracking knowing that not only is the car, but more importantly, my son. He could get hurt.
Right.
But this is it's racing. What do
you know? And that's what a lot of people don't realize nowadays is everybody says, and I'm going to let you talk about it in a minute. That NASCAR is not a sport. There's many injuries in NASCAR nowadays than ever. But I mean, up at Stafford, I mean, you guys are required to wear the Hans device, right?
I got
not in this division,
okay.
But I don't know why it's not, because we're probably the heaviest division as far as weight in the cars. But I do wear SFI rated suit and gloves. They're fireproof. I like the gloves too.
And I got them with Hans.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the Hans, and then you have to have a fireproof helmet. It's really thick. It's really coated with stuff that's supposed to protect you if your head catches on fire.
Wow.
And then I have SFI
Sounds
rated.
expensive too.
I
bet.
have SFI rated shoes as well.
Talk about making mortgage payments there, right, John?
Yeah. Now my ass is wide open. Trust me.
Whoa! Nice. So it is an investment in your son, and like, do you cringe when he starts to like go towards the wall, or when someone's do you just like go into dad mode and say, "Motherfucker, get off his bumper"? I swear to fucking God.
See, Chris looks over his
you
dad.
just let him be?
Chris is like, I don't care. I don't know what my dad's feeling, but I
you
like
just
it.
let him be Chris. You just
I need a shove on the start.
Unless it's deliberate. Do you just let him?
I try to let him be him.
Yeah.
I try not to cringe. It's hard.
Because I got a hockey child. And I was watching him yesterday. He was doing his share part of checking.
Yeah.
But then I'm watching, and he's only 8, but I'm watching other kids try to like pull him out from his skates and like hit him with the stick, and I see him holding his own, but I'm like, he's 8, and I'm 46, and I'm ready to jump through this glass. But the next fucking kid that touches my kid.
Yeah.
But I let him, but I have to also let him be.
That's it.
A hockey player.
Yeah, I'm like you. It's a struggle.
He's got to lose some teeth.
He's got to
let him lose the teeth.
He's going to be the one knocking.
You got to get a buddy.
His favorite part of hockey is throwing gloves.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, you fucker.
Yeah, no, it's a struggle every week. I try. And there's other things going on, too. I mean, there's times where through practice runs, his qualifier, I'm doing lap times on my phone. I'm trying to watch his line. I'm trying to watch. One of the things he needs a little improvement on is his turns, going faster through the turns, and we've been working on that. I took him back to Dennis at Bertel Roos. He did a whole one-on-one day there, which again was, it's so expensive, and yet you get the most bang for the buck at Bertil Roos. Dennis, I can't say enough about the guy. He's just tremendous. If you're looking to get into the sport and you want to brush up your technique, you want to become a better driver. I had people saying to me all sorts of things this year about, I don't know what I'm doing, it's unconventional, he's going down the wrong road, he's clueless, he's this, he's that. I don't give a rat's ass what people think. I really don't. My concern is that I want to think outside the box. I want to do things that maybe others aren't thinking, as in addition to what others are doing. But if we had done the orthodox route, he would have spent this year in an outdoor go-kart.
Yep.
And maybe 2 years in that, and then a year in a legend division, and then come up to this division. Well, I don't want him to be 67 years old when he decides he wants to drive this thing. If I think he can
Time to
chew
do
off,
it now. Right.
yeah, let's get him there. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. But I got to tell you, like you were saying before, that's still my son out there, and we jumped so many divisions of what the normal route would be that it's nerve-wracking. I mean, forget about the financial part. That's killing us. But again, that's why even on our sites or on the driver profile of Stafford, you see, and again, I'll be ridiculous with this. SanfordREI.com is my business.
Keep going, yeah.
And when people need a real estate broker, they want to get into investing in real estate, foreclosures or whatever, come and call me. That's the way that this whole machine gets run.
That's the way you're getting it going right now, right?
Yeah, and until we could find sponsors, and that's really that's
the next avenue for you.
Yeah, we're going to be doing other things. You talked before about what we're going to be doing in the off season. We're trying to set up possibly renting some cars to run in the dirt in different states down south over the winter to try to get them. Because it's really something.
That's another avenue of racing now too. That's starting to become popular again. It is short track dirt racing. I mean, they have a big race. I believe it's in February. It's called the Chili Bowl.
I think so.
Yeah, Are you talking like the Baja, the Kalahari?
No, not that.
Calamari.
Not that endurance.
Calamari.
No, the Chili Bowl. I mean, Tony Stewart's won it a couple times. Casey Kane's won it a couple times. They have like over 90 to 100 drivers. People from as little experience as Chris to, like I said, Tony Stewart. They're in an indoor track, and I forget where it is offhand, but it's during the winter. They have a bunch of qualifying races, and then one night they do this big broadcast on pay-per-view where you have all 90, 95 cars, and it's a little dirt track cars. I believe it's open-faced. I'm not totally sure on that, but I mean, you're looking to get bigger, going on, possibly moving on in a career with it. I mean, you're looking at every avenue that you can right now, and dirt racing is another avenue.
Yes, no, certainly. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Trans Am series.
Yep.
They're muscle cars with these wide bodies. I'm into that. I'm into NASCAR. I'm into Formula racing. Even if there's a minor league Indy car I could drive, Bandolero. I mean, anything with the 4 wheels of steering wheel.
Did you have a go-kart, or did you have a big wheel growing up?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he had a big wheel. He had a Dale Jr. red.
Oh yeah,
big wheel.
It was not really a big wheel like we used to remember. It was
with the little lunchbox in the back. You pack your little peanut butter and jelly.
It had a little motor on it, and it would do like maybe 2 miles an hour. And he was sitting there with his, and it was all red with the 8 on it.
I love that thing.
He was loving it. Yeah.
There's a bitch charging those batteries, though, I'll tell you, man. Those things went too fast.
Just a quick update on the game, real quick. 5:32 left in the second quarter. The Rams are driving. Score is now tied at 10.
Shit. God damn it. I hate it when I'm
Someone
right.
break Eli's mouth.
As long as Odell Beckham doesn't score a touchdown.
What is it?
No. We'll get into Beckham later.
All right.
15 years old, you're in a race car.
Yeah.
You're sitting at home, you need a ride somewhere. Does it not piss you off because you drive a car and you have to wait for a ride? Or can you call Uber? Actually, Lyft just came to Connecticut, by the way.
I don't want to get violated, but
good
it's
point,
a little
sir.
bit.
Good question and a good point on that.
But when your car is at Street Eagle and you got a lot of power and you got something that you know you can drive, it's kind of I gotta wait for my father and his dad to come and.
What are the girls like? There's the girls all over you now, or no?
Nope.
No?
Hell no.
You got to start wearing those tight Wranglers with the brown patch on the back and going to like Cadillac Ranch during the day.
Now somebody's some of these racetracks that you race at, been a big move lately on these safer barriers.
Yeah.
Nothing like that up at Stafford, right?
I think the insides, I don't know. I didn't feel like it when I hit it.
Right, like, for example, they're racing at Talladega today. I mean, they're safer barriers. They're all over
I
the
think
place.
everything, there's been a concerted effort across racing, and I think it started with Dale Sr.'s death to make all tracks better. Again, Tom Fox up at Stafford does a tremendous job with keeping that track as safe and as in good drivable condition as possible. Like he said, when he spun, he lost control. Again, only one race he was in a wreck this year. He came around and hit that wall pretty good. He was sore.
What was that like, Chris? I'd love to hear, if you don't mind.
It's
it's
loud, but I think that
walk us through the whole how it happened and then what was the result.
We started the race. I put it to the floor. Ooh, yep. I got a bigger motor now than I did in the rental cars, so it's a plus.
Yeah, this was the first race in our lean green mean machine.
Oh, really? Lean green mean.
It was our first race, and I told him, take it easy till you can get up to speed. In practice, he was running pretty good, but go ahead.
So we did one lap. We did our, I guess you could say with qualifying, you do your out lap. So you go around the track once.
Right.
And then we went around again, and I was behind the 53. And I swung out wide.
Right.
I went on the inside trying to pass him, and I was on the inside. And I remember coming off of 4, and I'm slowly applying power because it's 350, got a lot of power. And just left, right, left, and then I heard boom, and then I hit the car, and then I spun, and then my front end carried back around to the left, and I just crunch, and it just nailed the concrete wall. I really don't think that's a safer barrier. And with those modifieds and those late models, they really should have safer barriers. But it wasn't even so much. That's what got me. I mean, the impact on the car felt worse than it did on the wall. And to me, that should not be like that.
The car was smoking at that point, and one of the things with their stock is we have no ability to be able to communicate with the driver in that division. If I had a radio headset and I was able to communicate with them,
what would you?
I would have. When it was smoking as bad as it was, I would have pulled them off. The big mistake that I made was listening to others who said that the car was safe, that the tranny was fine.
Right.
I should have put my foot down when I saw it smoking a little bit in the practice. We took a look at it. It looked like it was fine. But we couldn't tell where the leak was coming from. I was told repeatedly that it was fixed. It was not fixed.
Right.
But once it starts smoking, if I was able to communicate with him, I would have pulled him off the track.
Let me ask you this: you talk about qualifying in that. Is there a process like they have in the Sprint Cup Series where you go through pre-race inspection, qualifying inspection, the day of the race inspection? Do they do all that at your level?
Actually, the beginning of the season, they didn't really do much, but then they were finding drivers were either too high or too low. You have to be a certain height off the ground from the top of the roof to the bottom of the wheels. And so after that, basically, I mean, there's a couple races where they just do, just pre-race inspection. Mm-hmm. They check your ride height. But mostly it's been pre-heat, which is you do it as a race, but it's a qualifier.
Right.
And what got me is it didn't really do much because I would start on the pole, go to the back, and then on the feature, I started on the pole. So it didn't really mean much for most of the season. But we would do pre-heat inspection. You go out, do your heat, come back, find out where you line up for the feature, and then they would check your ride height again to make sure that at least your ride height is good. And then if you finish on podium or high enough, they'll check your weight. They'll check,
Do they have like a stick? You must be this tall to ride this ride?
It's actually something like that. They have a stick, and there's a box on the bottom of it. And what they'll do is they'll stick it underneath your car. If they don't really feel anything, they're like, all right, you're good to go.
It's a ride height inspection. And the thing is, they'll do, and it's required. If you don't do it, when you come around the back and you're ready to go on the track, if you didn't do it, they'll send you
right
back.
off. Right.
Yeah. So they do that pretty regularly. If they see something they don't like from the press box up there, wherever those guys are up there, the tower, whatever you want to call it. If they don't see it in between practice, they'll send officials on the little go-karts up to wherever you are, and they will look, they will ask. I mean, again, Tom Fox does a great job there overseeing, making sure everything's fair first of all, and that everybody's kind of trying to do the right thing here. And we heard this at the last race, the fall final, a couple weeks ago, where someone who was on the podium who had won in a different division, who was parked next to us, had come in. They made him take apart their whole transmission and their rear end because they thought they were cheating.
Wow.
And it's on your dime with your tools. Pull this stuff off. We want to look at it. So and again, the guys that it happens to, and I don't look forward to that day if it ever happens with us. Because I want to be able to race as fair as we can. I want again, anyone that would tell you different, that they're not trying to cheat. Cheat is a strong word. I want to ride that Bill Belichick fence line where I'm not, where we're clean, but I want to exploit. I want to try to get.
Hate us because we're good, but we're clean and honest.
Right.
Is Armand part of your? You guys know an Armand?
Armand, yeah. Armand's with RAR Chassis. He helped us out a lot.
They're in turn 1 at Stafford. I don't know what that means.
John, I want to go back to what you said. What could they see like overhead? You said higher up that they might not see. Because I'm thinking on the ground, you're hearing things, but overhead, what might they see that they can't see on the ground?
Well, they can see
ground level compared to press box level.
You're live on PPRN.
All right, so what do you think about Week 13? Cowboys versus Vikings.
Oh, Vikings are going to kill them.
No, Vikings are going to. Vikings
We're
are
diehard Viking
going to.
fans.
It's going to be a great game.
Is this Bose?
Where's that horn when you need it?
I'm willing to give the Cowboys 7. We'll still cover.
I might take that.
Do you think the Cowboys are going to be able to run all over them?
No.
It's going to be interesting. Number one defense against the best offensive line in football. I mean, makes for a hell of a matchup.
And Zeke, I think he could do it. I think he could run all over him.
Best of luck with that.
Well, you know what? Like I said, we're at 5-1. I mean, let's face it. A lot of the reason for it is the running game. The running game's been great. Prescott has managed the game as well as he could. So I mean, the Vikings have a great defense. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I thought once they lost AP and Bridgewater, I thought they'd be like 2-3 right now. To me, you got two overachieving teams that are possibly going to the Super Bowl.
Who's going to be the quarterback of Week 13 for the Cowboys?
Can't predict that now. You got to see if Prescott gets hurt, and we got to let this thing roll out a few more weeks. But if you want to go by the way it's going right now, you got to go with Prescott.
I think they should just trade Romo.
There's a big rumor that Denver's very interested in him.
That'd be good. You could get a big return on that.
Nah, right now with Romo, if you get a 4th-round draft pick, you're doing pretty good.
You think he's going to go? He's got 1 more year left, don't he?
Yeah, he's got a few more years, but you know what? Let's face it.
Tony can buy him out.
Let's face it. Tony is a gamer.
He's a potato chip.
Why does Denver always take the fucking hurt ones?
He ties his shoes. He gets hurt. He's finished.
Let's face it. Tony is a player. I mean, he wants to play. He's played with broken ribs against San Francisco. He's played with a lacerated kidney against Washington in Washington. There's not many guys that are going to play as hurt as what he has. So, I mean, if they can get a little something left in him and develop Prescott right now at 5-1, you got Philadelphia next week, Cleveland the following week. The schedule's going to get pretty good for Dallas. I mean, right at 12-4 would be a good year for Prescott. Would it be good enough for him to be Rookie of the Year? Well, he's going to be competing with Elliott, who's the number 1 rusher in the NFL.
Honestly, I'll tell you what, Romo, and I'm serious about this. He should just stick with the clipboard and the headset. That's it. He's finished. He's done.
Yeah, but he's making $20+ million. They're not going to keep him on the bench.
No,
Romo's a pussy.
Give him the insurance, out, and then pay him off or whatever, and send him packing. Okay, we're doing the NFL in the last hour, caller. We're going to get back to NASCAR here. It's about NASCAR today, brother.
Romo's a fuck.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we hear you.
Goodbye.
Man. You're a goofball, the same asshole that called before, by the way, Peter. That's a horrible job of screening the calls, by the way. It's the same goddamn jerk-off that called before. Now back to NASCAR.
Yeah, now you had mentioned before that Armand had chimed in. Armand's a great guy. He's part of the RAR Chassis crew that helped us get going this year. And he also, in the last race, the fall final, I was waiting for Chris to come back to the pits, and we're waiting, and I know that we had to take off our restrictor plate to give back to Stafford. But I thought they bring the cars in, and then we take it off, and before we leave, we drop it off. Well, they didn't tell us this, but they held all the cars way up front, and here we are way in the back waiting. Well, Armand was one of the guys that, because we know him, and even though the last race we did not get towed or work with RAR chassis, we wanted just to see if we could tow it and we could work on it and the whole thing. Armand was really a great guy who jumped right in there, and him and Randy Higginson pulled that restrictor plate off for us so we can get the hell out of there and go home.
What is the requirements, or what is the race to NASCAR? What do you have to prove? How do you have to pay to get in? Do you have to qualify to get in?
NASCAR?
Yeah, to get him into the next level.
Well,
motherfucker.
Ultimately, wherever this ship shall sail, whether it's in NASCAR, whether it's in Indy, whether it's in Porsche, truck series, whatever.
Monaco?
Wherever. If anybody calls me...
Waterbury, Interstate 84?
Wherever this...
Cannonball Run.
Wherever this ship shall sail, we'll take calls from anybody who may want Chris to be their driver. But to answer your question, money. Money
right.
to get into the lower divisions of NASCAR, to go from Stafford to let's say the Infinity Series, or if we went the Bertil Roos way, the Formula way, through Indy, there's lower divisions that you have to excel at and just keep rising up. What I see a lot of is a lot of teams who spend a long time in one division. And then you see another set of teams who will try to move up too quickly. To me, when the phone calls come in, whoever's willing to help us, we have open arms to anybody who's willing to help us financially. But it's really the money thing. It's talent, it's that phone call, and it's money.
Now let me ask you this. He's 15 years old. Let's talk football and baseball for a second. They're sending scouts out. They're checking kids out 14, 15, 16 years old.
Fuck you.
No. What is, for example, NASCAR? What is, let's say, Hendrick Motorsports? They see a keen interest in Chris's eye. What's the process they go and going out and scouting?
They normally, my understanding is that they probably wouldn't be looking at him at the dare stock level.
Okay.
They tend to look at the modified division, and from the modified division up, they may send someone. And really, the recognition that you get by winning. We didn't put a emphasis on winning this year, and I'm about as competitive as you're going to get.
Oh, I know that. I know that from having you coach the kids.
Yeah. Yeah,
Stop picking dingleberries. Let's go.
Second place. You're growing roots over there. Get moving.
I coached Little League up in Naugatuck for 7.5 years, 2 teams a year, and I
played with the Dodgers.
I was a little nuts up there. Yeah.
No such thing.
In order to get to where we need to go, obviously we got to win. We got to do well.
Right.
Right now we're trying to develop Chris as a driver.
Yep.
We're trying to make him better incrementally. One of the things that I noticed at the end of this year was he was about 0.27 seconds off the fastest drivers. And what I'm proud of is he took over 3 seconds off his lap time. He avoided every crash. He had 3 top 10s. He finished 12th in points out of 36 drivers.
Amos, Leon.
But now next year we need to start winning.
Take it to the next level. Maybe not so much win, but now we're looking top 5s, top 3s. Put yourself in that position to win.
Right. So 2017, it's more development. He still needs a little work, and that's what I say to him all the time because sometimes he'll get a little antsy. That I can see where he can improve. And where the other drivers, I think, are stagnant. They're not going to improve that much more other than seat time.
It's because they enjoy going up there for the weekend and coming home. They're not looking to...
That, and they've been doing it so long that I don't think they work on technique, where we're going to continue to work on technique. And I think he'll more than fill that 0.27. So he'll fix that.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with his driving in the turn. So if we can... get get a little more money rounded up and head down to some of these tracks where we could rent a dirt car or a dirt track to help them go faster through turns. That's something that may aid them.
Is there a pot at the end of the thing, or is it win by win week? Or is
it's every week, and it depends on where you finish and who's sponsoring it. I mean, there's some weeks that you can get $800 for first place, $600 for second, and then like $250 for third. Other weeks it's less than that. Sometimes it's actually a little bit more. So it depends on the week. I mean, I know they have a week just for the dare stocks. They have an extension in the length of the race. They have 5 more laps, and I think I'm pretty certain the amount that you would get by finishing on the podium is higher. And I think the rest of the season it's probably a little bit lower. So
what's the health of Stafford? Have they done any improvements, or is it?
It's pretty well on track.
The track is okay, but the rest of it ain't.
No,
it's
not bad.
No,
it's in good shape.
Yeah, it's in good shape. I mean, the stands could,
You'll be standing in the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Bring your Walmart cheers.
Yeah, but overall, it's a really good run. It's a well-run racetrack, and the way they have everything set up and organized, especially with parking and everything. It's hard to get out because it's only like 2 wide, to get out of the track. But
what else is there besides Stafford?
There's Thompson.
Okay.
Thompson and
it's
Waterford.
all up in that part of the fucking.
Everything's on the east side of the state.
Right, there's nothing over here anymore.
No, the 3. And you were mentioning that before, back in the day in Danbury.
Danbury, yep. 7-Eleven.
My buddy Pete Mariconda had sponsored he had his own car that he used to race up at Riverside. Now it's Six Flags.
Yes.
So now the 3 tracks
I try to forget about Six Flags.
That's right.
Yeah. So now the 3 tracks are all on the east side of the state. They're all NASCAR certified.
Are they?
Yeah.
When are they ever going to bring a race up here then?
Yeah, I don't.
It's not big enough.
I know.
Why?
I
It's not big
I
enough?
don't get it. There's got to be something.
Because you would have to race dead of summer because it gets too cold.
The
for
tracks
the track,
are
right?
too small.
Too small.
Right.
For that.
The Danbury track, for example, like what was that? What's the mile? What was it? Is it
I don't remember.
Mile?
How long before
That
the
was
Indians built a track?
That was like 3/8 of a mile.
3/8 of a mile.
What do you think about that? The Indians building a track. They have the room.
The real Indians
Either
or the
Mohegan or
Cleveland
Fox
Indians?
Yeah, I don't know. We'd be willing to race on
Overweight
anything.
people have it hard enough being disgusting without you making fun of them.
That's Jimmy Spencer.
Kill your bro.
I'm seriously. What's stopping the Indians from bringing NASCAR up? Or they got everything else?
Yeah, I think there's always been a knock in the Northeast that this is more of a Southern sport, but there's a lot of drivers up in this area.
No doubt.
And I'll give you an example.
Well, they go to New Hampshire, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Loudon. Yep.
And they'll go to Dover. They'll go to Pocono. Ryan Preece is someone that is kind of running ahead of us in the pathway. He did the indoor go-karts at on-track karting. In fact, Chris had a chance to race him, and Chris beat him. Which was
wow,
nice.
Ryan is now racing
The Xfinity Series.
in the
Yep.
in Xfinity.
I mean, that's the one good thing about if you stay along the NASCAR program. They've got all these different series, which leads into the Craftsman Truck Series, the Infinity Series, and the Nextel Cup. I mean, there's just so many avenues in a NASCAR level where, I mean, they're doing the right thing by going to another Formula One car just to have a backup plan and learning more and more as you go.
He may end up going that way.
Right.
We don't know.
We don't know. To get there, I mean, is it? Do you know?
It's a long shot.
Do you?
It really
I mean,
is.
I was going to say, John, and even Chris, is there a template or a precedent set that where you look at the drivers that have made it, that actually have made it, and whatever age they are, where they started, and are you not like tracking, Chris's progression right now? Is it where like you really feel he wants to be, or is it that, I know for like I heard Furyk, Bob's a golfer. He's a golf pro. We picked up a club. He was 12 years old.
Yep.
I was happy to my girls that started playing golf at 10. Now where they're going to go, I don't know. But it seems like Chris at an early age, and you've kind of pushed him. You said at a riskiness, but maybe a payoff at the end of the tunnel there, so to speak. So it seems like he's on pace towards that.
Well, I mean, I've looked up many driver biographies, especially about Joey Logano and Earnhardt Jr. and what they've done. And I noticed one time I checked my Instagram, and Joey Logano had posted a photo. He was about 15 or 16. He was driving a late model. So
Wow.
I think
Okay. There you go.
that is a reflection of all right.
You had a big
we're right
smile.
on the
You
right
had a big
track.
smile.
I mean,
saw
we're
that.
we're not a late model, but we're certainly close to that.
Very
so,
close, right?
Yeah.
Very close.
Right.
So I think that and Junior, he was racing something like a street stock, which is basically the same thing. Just it goes a little bit faster, and but he was driving that around my age, so.
And Joey started at on-track karting as well.
Right.
And Wallingford, once a year he comes back and he races against whoever wants to race him, and
You ought to spin him.
I'll get him a little loose and throw him away.
Well, who are some of your favorite drivers right now that you kind of emulate or?
Well, I actually used to be a big Tony Stewart fan when he raced the.
I'll get him a little loose.
The Home Depot car.
Okay.
The Chevy and the Pontiac.
I've seen that. I've seen that
the
car.
old Pontiac.
Yeah.
But then I looked at Junior and I'm like, man, I love this guy.
Wow.
So I love the red car.
What do
I
you,
love,
what do
I
you
love
think?
his dad and
What do you think his future is? I mean, let's face it. He's not racing the rest of the year because of concussion protocol.
I think he just might be able to be out of a ride. I don't know. To be honest with you, with Chase Elliott coming up and then William Byron, as well as other junior motorsports guys like Regan Smith, I've just heard a bunch of stuff. But
he might retire. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
he hasn't been cleared yet. I mean,
I
the doctors, from what I heard, the doctors do not want to clear him because it's happened so many times.
I find that interesting. I had 5 concussions in my life, and I never
5.
5.
Is that how you came up with the number for the car?
But you know what? Maybe we'll use that.
Not bad.
2 were major and 3 were minor,
Right.
and I never to have this amount of time pass and not be cleared. It doesn't add up to me. To me, I think there's something else going on that we're not aware
Right, because, I mean, if you guys remember, there was a point where he couldn't even go out in public. I mean, he was getting all dizzy and everything walking out, and the doctor's like, hey, you have to get out there. I mean,
he said what?
No, now the next 2 weeks, today and next
What'd you
Sunday,
say,
he's going to be broadcasting for the
Is
NBC
Grandma
network.
here?
So, I mean,
yeah,
I think that's a lot to read into right there about him.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Very. All right,
Well, if
halftime.
you guys want to stick around and talk with us some more sports, you're welcome to stay. We're going to be right back with some more football talk.
Thanks for having us.
And
We
then
really
we'll wrap
appreciate
it up with the
Our
Sanford
pleasure.
team. here.
Fantastic.
We'll be right back.
Thank you. Far too kind.
You're listening to PPRN, motherfucker.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then
Yeah.
organize and call you up and say, hey, how can I help you? Which I'm thinking right now, gee, how can I help these guys? But I think something's got to come along where you kind of see the niche. You can't just...
Correct. Right. It was really something to finish the season. And again, he finished 12th. He had to start 22nd because we missed the qualifier because we blew a...
I try to discover a little something to make me sweeter. Oh, baby, refrain from breaking my heart. I'm so in love with you. I'll be forever
so much. Thank you very much.
Bob, I'm talking to you, Bob.
All right, coming up this week on PPRN, we have Tuesday night from we start at 7:30 now. So Tuesday, your friend, comedian friends there Wednesday, right, Bob?
Yeah, Rich Seathall will be in the house Wednesday night.
Rich Seathall. I'm sorry, I have to have this up.
That's all right. You've been away for a few days. We're just getting back into it.
Yeah. I'm a cable guy. Event. See more.
Basically, it's round table both nights.
Yeah, Tuesday is, never mind. Just tune in Tuesday. We got music, two acoustic people, and we're back from being on vacation, and Wednesday is Rick Siebler and Jason Garish will be here also. So that's 7:30 to 10:30 on Tuesday and Wednesday night, and then don't forget Saturday's Mixtape Saturday.